So today is going to be a Sunday service. We've had a real nasty wet week, and it's a little wet to do anything out. And I've been meaning to do it for a while. You're always supposed to do your first service at like 50 to 75 hours on the tractor. You know, change your oil and your fuel filters in case there's any debris in it from when it was being built. And had good intentions. I got the filters at 50 hours, but it is now at 80 some hours, and I'm finally going to get around to do it. I just haven't had time, but sometimes you just got to make time, and that's what I'm going to do today. I'm going to change the oil and change the fuel filter. Now, I was warned from my uncle I bought the tractor from. He owns a Coyote dealer, that Godzilla put these filters on in Korea, so he said be prepared for them to give a battle on coming off. So I was like, fantastic. So you're going to witness me doing the first service on the tractor. All in all, I've been fairly happy with the tractor. There's a couple of things I don't like on it. One would be it's a little jerky with the hydrostatic. In medium, I think he said it might have to be reprogrammed. If you don't hold the pedal all the way down, it'll kind of pulsate. It's a little bit aggravating. It's hard sometimes with the shifter, as there's no clutch in it. To get it to go into like medium, you have to put it in high and roll forwards for a couple inches, and it'll go back into medium. But I mean, other than that, I've been fairly pleased with the tractor. I wish another thing, the loader arms, you can't do like two functions at one time. Like, well, you can, but it's not like very quick, as like raise the loader and curl the bucket at the same time. It's kind of like one function at once is kind of what it really likes to do. But you know, it works for me. I wanted something with a cab on it and a little newer, it's a little easier to mow around the place, and when I do my snow removal, it makes life a lot easier, because I put 25-30 hours on it just doing that. So, but I'm going to do a maintenance, because that's what I hate to see about a lot of people that buy brand new stuff. You know, they spend $30,000-$40,000 on a tractor, and then they never maintain it. So I'm very avid about keeping everything checked and making sure that I can get the most I can out of it, because I had to work hard to pay for this thing. So, I'm going to go ahead and pull the drain plug and let some oil out. Alright, let's see how big of a mess we make here. Probably should have grabbed a glove. That won't bad at all. Usually it comes downpouring out. Ugh. Drain plug right there. At least service is fairly easy on this one. Got your oil filter right here, and your fuel filter and water separator. Pull the dipstick right there. Maybe it'll get a little air to it. It'll breathe better, and your oil fill is right there. So that hose moves up out of the way. It shouldn't be too hard. So let me get my filter wrenches and see if I can get this oil filter broke loose. Definitely are not going to be able to feel that one, as it's on there sideways. Alright, so I really wasn't paying attention, but I don't think this tractor holds a whole lot of oil, because it surely didn't run out very long. Let's see. Good gracious. Godzilla did put that filter on. That should not be that tight. Holy mother. I usually, wow, he won't line. That joker's on there tight. I usually hand tighten them and then just like quarter tighten them, quarter to a half a turn. Yeah, let me grab a paper towel here. Wow. He said the main reason he thinks that they are so hard to get off is that they put them on dry, so there's no oil on the gasket. So that's one of the reasons why it's hard to get them off. So let me get the new one and put it on. There's enough oil around there that it will be lubricated. Little dab will do you. So I usually about that tight, and then just a little snug. Well, that's plenty. No need to doggone strip the threads out on it. So now that that's on there, I'm going to put the drain plug back in and fill it up. I really don't think it took much more than a gallon, which was surprising. I bought 3, but I should know with that little motor right there that hard to believe that's 50 horsepower right there. Let me pull that out of the way and clean the drain plug up and get it put back in place. Well, considering that this little oil pan right here is about the size of a milk jug, I say that would be right. That's good enough. Alrighty. So there's actually not a extremely good way of putting oil in here because, well, it might just be my funnel that I've chopped off to make work for other pieces of equipment. I'm probably all blocking the view, aren't I? But it doesn't hold much. It would probably be easier to fill it up with the fuel filter off, but I'm afraid diesel fuel is going to be dripping all down the whole time I'm trying to do this. So I don't see anything spilling. I'm going to put like 3/4 of a gallon in because it's at least that much. I'll let it sit and check it for a second. Now I'll run it a second and that'll get oil into the filter since I couldn't get any in there since the filter goes on sideways. So we'll let that set just for a second. See if there's any even on the dipstick. Well, it's halfway up the dipstick, so it's safe enough to start it up. I'll let it run for a second and put the oil cap back on first. That way it'll fill up the filter, then I'll let it sit while I change the fuel filter, and I'll be able to get a good accurate check on it. So let's go ahead and change the fuel filter now. You've got to unplug the sensor right here, which you push that and then pull that apart. That way you can get your filter wrench on. See, we're going this way. Slip that over it. I'm putting on gloves because I really hate to have diesel fuel pour all over my hands and smell like diesel fuel the rest of the day, it seems like. So let's see how bad this is going to be. This little thing, I don't know if this one's going to tighten up enough to. Oh, I'm going to have to use a strap one. I got to have a smaller filter wrench. Well, let's see if I can do the strap one right here. Filter wrench was too big. This was a smaller diameter filter. There's not a whole lot of room on this one. This joker's tight too. Oh, not too tight. Okie dokie. Perfect. So you need a smaller metal ring if you want to use that on this one. Let's see how much fuel is going to come pouring out. Well, not too much. That wasn't bad at all. I'm going to dump that here in the pan. And then I've got to take this sensor off. What's that? That just simply unscrews. Look at that. It wasn't too bad at all. Little sensor, I'll clean that off. It's actually got some crud in the bottom of it. We'll get a new paper towel for that one. It's also got a little primer up top. But I always take the new filters. I got to put this in the bottom, obviously, so that it doesn't all the fuel pour out. And so I'll take the new filter. So take the new filter. You would think that it would come with a new O-ring, but there's not. There wasn't one in the box. Screw that back together. And then I'm going to go over here. I got some diesel fuel and pre-fill this. That way I don't have to sit there and hand pump it. Alright, so I got that filled up and it is full. Get that spun back on. What do I do with the wrench? Here it is. Just do a couple little turns on it to make sure it's snug up. Like so. Get that plugged back in. Love sensors on everything. Got to have sensors on everything. Which way does it go? It's hard to tell. I didn't hear it click, but I think it's together. Looks good. All right. Let's pump that up. I don't know if that's a bleeder or what, but normally what I do, it'll start. I know I told you I was going to check the oil in it too before I started it again. Let's see what it looks like. I did start it up and let it run for about 30 seconds. It's right there at the low mark, so I'll add a little bit and go ahead and start it up. Alright, so I added a little bit of oil and I got sidetracked and checked the gear oil in the front axle, and it needed just a touch there, so I got it filled up. So I'm going to just start it up here and make sure I've got all the air out of the filter. It's just a good time when you're going over everything to check everything out. So I'm gonna cut it on and let the key on for a second. You can hear a fuel pump. Let's see what it's gonna do now. Look at that, didn't even sputter. Not bad at all. But yeah, when you're working on everything, you know, the service is good, you know, go ahead and check your air filter, make sure all that's good. And while you're crawling around up under there, you may see, I actually saw a grease fitting I didn't even know about. But you know, I'm gonna go around and grease everything and just go ahead and do pretty much a good service on it, and then take it up there and power wash it. The reason I didn't power wash it first is because it wouldn't have dried in time, and I would have not liked water dripping all over me. So I'm going to what am I gonna do? Finish up, yeah, just check over everything and put everything back together and go ahead and grease everything. So that was a oil change and a fuel filter change on a Coyote NX 5010.